All right, boys, welcome to the Fellowship of the Fleek weekly podcast recap. This week, I'm lucky to be joined by the manager of Tom Throws Bombadils, Chase.
What's up?
What's up, dude? So, I like to start every episode just how we know each other. So I'll let you go into that.
Yeah, so we met in college through a mutual friend that was someone who we also lived with in Houston, Austin. Yeah, got to go to a couple games and then roomed with each other for a few years in Houston and just kept in touch through that.
And I feel like the things that we really bonded over were cooking and anime.
Yeah, and then Michael got me into getting back into working out as well. So
Yeah, that was kind of a good influence, maybe.
yeah.
Um, so who else in the league do you know already?
So all the guys that were from Miami. So is it Nathan, Joji, um, who else? Let me see. I've met your brother a couple times.
Mason and
Um,
Shinrol's the other ones that were there, I think.
oh yeah, they don't have their names on here. That's right. Yep, exactly. And then I think Tyler, we shared some meals here in Austin when you came into town and stuff.
Probably, yeah, you most likely probably met Tyler too.
Yeah, I think we saw Dune, right? The first one.
That probably.
That shoddy theater. Remember that?
I don't
Uh,
remember my Dune one experience at all, so it's very possible that the three of us
it
watched it
wasn't
together.
good.
But did you see Dune too?
Yeah. Oh man, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, Dune 2 blew my mind. I watched it three times in theaters and I have it on Blu-ray now.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Um so do you have, just like obviously we're doing a fantasy league, but not everyone really watches football. Do you have a team that you root for?
Yeah. I mean, all throughout college and a lot of growing up, was just pain because I'm a Longhorn and Cowboys fan. So just two teams that were great at one point before me, and then no longer good. So it's even though the Cowboys, I don't know what's happening to them right now, but the the Longhorns are doing well, which is great.
Dude, the number 1 ranking was crazy.
I know. Dude, I went to one of the games so far, just watching. Man,
Which game did you go to?
I went to UTSA, and then I'm going this weekend to Mississippi State.
Nice, nice. So
March
the
game.
the weekend of the bachelor party we're playing, I can't remember who it is, but it's someone that's like not ranked right now.
Yeah,
And I was like, man, it would be really awesome to go to the game, but I just feel like that'd be too hectic. But we definitely will be watching it all
yeah,
together for sure.
that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yep. Um all right. And I guess what do you think about the league so far? I mean, I don't I think we did a league together last year. So that was our first
Yeah,
time, but this compared to other leagues that you've been in, just in general, kind of what do you think?
I mean, I had never done this extra flex position, which is instead of a kicker, which has been pretty cool. Except that I had Dak and took him out. Um,
We'll get to that later.
but yeah, but yeah, it's been kind of like a different way of seeing it. And then I know I think our other league you had to like spend money on stuff, and that was always throwing me off. So this one's just like
Yeah.
get who you can get.
Yeah,
But
I've tried Fab before and I feel like it's objectively a better system than waivers cuz waivers just feels like your only strategy is just let me not use my waiver so and hope that later on there's someone that's better. But with the money one, it's like you really can just spend more if you need it. But the scary part is
yeah,
like it's hard to evaluate like how much your money is worth to know if you really want to go hard on someone, like how much is too much. Like it's kind of weird. That's why I feel I feel weird about it, but I think it is an actually a better system than waivers.
Probably.
So I just wanted to also before we get into the actual like what happened this week, just kind of catch up with you, like in your life, like what's going on. Obviously, not of the a lot of the guys in the league know you super well personally, but whatever you feel like sharing, just fill us in. What's going on in Chase's life?
Yeah, I mean, just living in Austin, working in construction, so you know how that goes. No AC for the summer's been brutal, but yeah, I'm seeing Austin change and trying to decide if I want to stay here long term or
Okay,
if I can afford to stay here long term. And then getting more serious with Cynthia, so it's been good.
nice, nice. So, do you think if you leave Austin, you might go back to DFW or somewhere else even?
I'm trying to decide if I want to stay in Texas or if like the heat's just if I'm staying in this industry, if I just don't want the heat anymore. But I don't know. I can't decide yet.
Fair enough.
Um, Visited Colorado this summer, and it was just freaking awesome. So could be an option.
Well, we'd hate to see you leave, but Colorado is a really nice state, so I wouldn't blame you. You already have the
Yeah,
beard for it.
that's true.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a sign.
cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into the league. So I have my last week's matchup up on the screen, so you can see all my stats.
Hmm.
Um, I unfortunately had to give my little brother the L. So that
Oh,
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't looking forward to that. As I said last week, it's kind of a win-win because either I win or I let my brother gets a win. So I feel bad because I didn't do a great job scheduling the draft and he wasn't able to join, so he kind of had to auto draft.
yeah,
Everyone was like, "You should draft for him," but I don't know. I just felt like if I drafted for
collusion.
him, no, I mean, well, for one, I feel like if I mess it up, then I would feel really bad. Like if I pick certain players that didn't pan out, but also his pick was right before me and right after me, so I feel like it would be so hard to like not pick someone I wanted, just because he's like literally right there. And I don't know. In my opinion, auto drafting is usually a very safe option. Like I know a lot of leagues where there's always like a couple guys that auto draft and they seemingly always do decently well. But I mean, he got super screwed because CMC got injured and that was his first pick. And then I think Puka was like his third or fourth, so like he just got fucked. So I feel bad because I did tell him to auto draft, and then now he's not doing so hot. But so I was kind of hoping he could get the win, but at the same time, I can't hand him the win for free. So, um, but I've been coaching him and giving him advice on the waivers and stuff, and I think he's improving. But I mean, my team is just really good. I feel like that Saquon pick is like if I pan out in this league long term, it's gonna be because of Saquon. I feel like he's just been super consistent and like going ham.
Yeah, I mean that was surprising. I feel like I thought he was going to be on like the descent, like not scoring Saquon points,
Yeah,
and he just did not. Um, yeah, that first pick is such a like getting CMC. It's like you have to, but then he's freaking class,
yeah,
so
and like
it's hard either
his
way.
and historically, he's always been known to be injury prone. But last year, I want to say like I don't think he missed any games, or maybe he missed like a game or something. It's kind of like
Yeah,
Tua. Like Tua also just randomly didn't get hurt all year last year. So, but maybe that's a sign. It's like if someone is really injury prone and they have a year where they don't get injured, then their risk
yeah,
of injury in the next season is probably even higher.
yeah. Don't get him next year.
Yeah. So that might be like something I put back in the bank. So yeah, I mean, I actually didn't really pick a great lineup. I mean, you could see what my efficiency was 85%. Devin Singletary also, I picked super late. I didn't even know who he was, but he's a starting running back for the Giants, and he's actually been doing really well. And actually, I'll talk about that later for next week. But yeah, so I mean, and the Saints also, I only picked up the Saints defense because week 1 the Ravens were playing Kansas City and the Ravens were going to be my defense for the year, but I didn't want them against Kansas City, so I picked up the Saints. the Saints have been going ham, but then I was like, oh well, um, why did I why did I put? Oh, the reason I benched the Saints this week was because I kind of figured if I'm starting Barkley and Devontae Smith, then I need them to score a lot of points. It's hard for them to score a lot of points and the Saints defense to score like a decent amount.
Yeah,
I figured it kind of
yeah,
counteracts. So I was like, let me just put the Ravens defense in, even though at first I thought that I didn't I don't know, I wasn't sure we were going to beat the Ravens. I wasn't really confident going into that game, but I mean I did think that that was a better matchup defensively for New Orleans than for the Ravens, but so yeah, I
yeah.
left him points on the bench, but Joe Burrow finally had his first good game of the season. I feel like he's been very
Mm.
underwhelming, but it's funny. It seems like the Chiefs or not the Chiefs, sorry, the Bengals always start like 0-3, then they start going ham. So if the Bengals start picking it up, that's really gonna help my team as well.
I didn't see was Worthy good the last couple weeks.
Nah, he
No,
exploded first the first week with like 18 points, and he was on my bench.
yeah,
And then week 2 and week 3, he's had around the same points as you see here. The only
yeah,
reason I started him was because Cooper Cup is out,
yeah,
um, and so he was like my next most reliable option. But I drafted some people last week. I think the D Robinson and I think it's Quentin Johnson. I'm not sure his name is, but those they might
yeah.
get starts in the future because Devontae I think got a concussion now, so we'll see. But that's enough on my game. Let's talk about yours. So, oh, there's a lot to talk about here. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, man. Such a close game. I thought Joji was not going to put a defense in, and I weighed the decision of do I tell Joji that he doesn't have a defense in,
Hell no.
and I was like, there's a punishment in this league. If there hadn't been a punishment in this league, I probably would have been like Joji, look at your freaking lineup, man. Let's go. But it burned me so bad because the Cowboys, that -1 point, is what lost me the entire thing. It's like just get no points.
Yeah, it's like the
So
irony of that your opponent didn't have a defense in, and you were gonna tell him, but you didn't, and then your defense is the one that screwed you.
yeah,
Oh man. But I was when I was looking at the stats of your game as I was kind of making this, I was looking at your lineup and you actually pretty much picked the least optimal lineup possible. And if you had made it, look at this. If you had started Dak in place of Purdy or Mayfield, you would have won. If you put Zach Moss in at either of the two running back or flex, you would have won. If you would have put this guy in, you would have won. Basically, if you put anybody else in, you would have won. Other than Shaheed, I guess it's kind of
you
funny.
know,
Like you picked Shaheed, you got Shaheed last week, but you didn't start him. I guess you just didn't think that he was gonna go off or what?
yeah. I was kind of just gonna. I picked him up, and then I was like, all right, I'll give it a week to see how he actually does
Yeah,
this week, and then I can know if I need to play him. And
that
then in
was
terms of like Dak just went out. Like I was feeling pretty good with like, hey, I put in two quarterbacks that weren't Dak, and
yeah.
then he came at the fourth quarter, and it was like, what?
Fourth quarter
Like,
tag, man.
uh,
Yeah, so I guess benching Shaheed was your only smart move this week.
yeah,
Oh man.
uh,
I guess looking at your injury, looks like did you draft Hawkinson like early? Like he's been injured from the beginning of the season, right?
yeah. And I was just holding on to him. I probably should drop him. I think they said game six will be back, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
who's
don't
your
like Pitt, so
yeah. It's
it's
funny because you in the draft I kind of felt like you were screwing me because I wanted to draft Pitts and I wanted to draft the Dallas defense and you took them both for me, but it just worked out really well. Because the Dallas defense the last 2 to 3 years I think has been the number one or number two scoring defense in fantasy, and I have had a lot of good success with them, but I think this year is not their year.
well, yeah. I mean, it's just Dan without Dan Quinn, man. I guess they just cannot do it. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Dan Quinn, but it's just yeah. Hopefully we pick it up. If we lose to I think we play New York next. If we lose to New
Hmm.
York, I don't know, man. The only thing that's saving me is Texas being number one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right,
So
so I got up my stats. Okay, so here's yeah, okay. I got up my stats for next week's game. I'll be honest, I haven't actually like looked at the lineups at all, but I'm playing Shin. So this is a
yeah,
prime game to talk some shit after I beat him. He was texting me or last week saying that we were tied because we were both 2-0, and I was like, bro, we're not tied. I got way more points than you. So me and him are already talking shit on the side. So this is gonna be a game, a game for sure that we both want to win.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, I have no idea. So right now I got to figure out if Devonte Smith is even gonna play. Because they said he didn't participate in practice today with the concussion protocol. If he doesn't play, I guess I already have him on the bench right now. Devin Singletary's playing against Dallas, so I feel like any running back that's playing against Dallas is like an automatic start until otherwise. And
Yeah,
yeah,
do you keep Worthy in or no?
I don't know. I think that's the one that I'm not sure about. The problem is like I think that D Robinson guy from the Rams. I think I picked him up because Cup and Nakua are out, but he didn't really do much at all this
Yeah,
past week. It seemed like they just evenly passed the ball to like Tutu, him, and then I don't know if you know, but Jordan Winnington from Texas is on there too.
yeah,
So it
yeah. I have him in
seems
a different league.
uh, so I don't know. I mean, their running backs got crazy points. I mean, I think Joji had his running back. Yeah, Kyron Williams. So it's I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So I think
Well,
basically I'm deciding between Xavier Worthy and this guy from the Chargers who I don't really know. Those are the two. Unless Devontae Smith is playing. I feel like if Devontae Smith is playing, I have to play him just because I think AJ Brown is gonna be missing regardless.
right.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's basically it on mine, man. What let's see what you got. You're playing Mason this week.
Yeah, I tried to pick up a defense with the waivers, and it just didn't work out. So I'm gonna just stream
Which
stream a
de
defense.
which defense were you trying to pick up?
The Vikings. They did good last week, and I was like, I don't need this
Yeah. Oh,
Cowboys.
sorry. We'll get to that later. Yeah. So I saw after the waivers process, Shin picked up the Bills defense, but the Bills are playing the Ravens next. I think. Yeah, they're playing the Ravens
Yeah,
next. So I don't know if the Bills is the right move, but
yeah.
we'll see.
And then Jennings, he went off last week, and it may be a one game.
Who?
The Jay Jennings, he's
Oh,
for
Jawan. Yeah,
Juwan.
Jawan
Yeah,
Jennings. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at his like previous years, just like production, and he's like pretty much just consistently like between 5 and 10 points for like 2 to 3 years, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden just exploded. Uh,
yeah,
I heard on Nightcap they were talking about how 49ers fans were burning Ayuk jerseys, and I'm like, bro, you, like I will say it is shocking to me that the 49ers are not playing very well this season. But
yeah,
Brandon Ayuk is not the reason. I mean, he's had some drops
no,
and stuff for sure, but um, it's not all his fault. They should. That's crazy.
yeah, as well.
Yeah. Um, trying to see if there's anything else on here. I guess just Mason in general. Do you have any secret beef with Mason, or is this win or loss gonna feel any certain type of way, or is it just another game for you?
I mean, just beating him in this will at least let me know that yeah, he's got Super Smash Brothers, but if I whoop his ass in this, that's all that matters.
So you have a lot riding on this then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely play some Smash at the bachelor party for sure. And
Oh man.
I can't beat Mason. Mason and Nathan I can't beat. But I
Yeah.
think everyone else there, my brother is pretty good. But other than that, I feel like everyone else there I'm not worried about.
Yeah, I need to knock the rust off for sure.
Yeah. I haven't decided if I want to set up a formal tournament for Smash while we're there or just like have it out and just people play games when they want. Because
Yeah.
there's that and there's also Mario Kart that I want to do. So there's all kinds. Mario Kart I'm a lot better at than I am at Smash. Yeah. So next slide here, I got the waivers. So Trying to see if there's anything notable. So you got Joanne Jennings, so it looks like a lot of people were trying to get him. But yeah, I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
it's hard to just pass up, someone who had 40 something points. So kind of going back to our earlier discussion about Fab, like this is kind of the nice things with Fab. It's just, you know,
yeah,
even though you're first in line, it's like if Jesse wanted to drop like a third of his Fab money on Joanne, like he theoretically could do that and get him. I think
yeah.
in the league that I played that had Fab, I think was last year, and I think I dropped a whole bunch of money on Achan, which I think like panned out for a while, but then he missed a bunch of games, so then it kind of screwed me.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah, I put in a waiver for Andy Dalton, but it looks like Mason got him. But who does Mason have?
Is Dalton playing good this year?
Dude, Andy Dalton, Sam Darnold, and who's the other one?
It's a
Maybe it's
weird
just them
year.
two. It's a very weird year, man. I feel like this is the weirdest year of like none of the teams that are supposed to be really. Buffalo looks better than I expected after losing Diggs. And didn't they lose Gabe Davis also, or did they? It was someone else. I think it was
I don't
Gabe
know.
Davis. The Bills look better than I expected, but every other team that should be good, like the 49ers, the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, um, even the Chiefs, I feel like don't look as good. The Bengals, like they all don't look good. It's weird.
Dang.
So I think yeah, I put a waiver in for Dalton, Jawan, and then Cole Komet, and then the one for Cole Komet came through. I don't know about you, man. I feel like tight ends are so annoying in fantasy because so many of them do almost nothing, and then they just randomly like a tight end here or there will just explode. Like Dallas Goddard
I,
last week.
I would almost rather have the extra flex position as a tight end rather than like have that replace tight end rather than kicker because I'm the same right there with you. Like I hate having to deal with the tight end situation.
Yeah, but it like we eliminated kickers for this league. That was
Hmm.
kind of like I had never heard of doing that before. The only reason I did it is because I really wanted to try the double quarterback league. But from what I was
Yeah,
reading, it seemed like if you did the double quarterback, you really should eliminate either defense or kicker. And I was like, I
gotcha.
feel like I enjoy playing with defenses more than I do kickers. Kickers just
For
feel like, I grab this dude and he's just there the whole time and I switch it the 1 week he's on bye. That's it. I'm not gonna
sure.
waste a roster spot on optimizing out my kicker position.
For sure.
So that's why I eliminated kicker. But tight end, like I feel like tight end is an integral part of a football team. You can't just like it would feel wrong to just eliminate tight end.
And then
Um,
Kelsey's not playing this year good at all.
yeah, but I think Shin has him, so yeah,
He'll do good this week. We'll see.
probably. Actually, I hope not. I'm playing against Shin.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, but he has Hunter Henry now. Did he drop
Did he?
Kelsey? I think he dropped Kelsey,
No,
dude.
I think he did.
I think he dropped Kelsey because he has Njoku and Hunter Henry. So I take it back. I hope Kelsey goes off this week.
Yeah, he must have been trying to pawn him off earlier. Nice.
Cool. So next up, I got the power rankings. This one was funky, man. I think I got to mess with my custom GPT a little bit more because it put in Joji at 5, and Joji's been terrible. I actually have a bone to pick with him. I feel like he's not putting enough effort into this league right now.
That's what I
He's
was
not
like.
taking it seriously. Um, yeah. So for some reason, it put him at 5. I don't know about that, but you know, it
Man,
is what it is.
I know. I gotta switch this up. I
Yeah.
want your brother doing the dance and not me.
Yeah, I was looking at I was looking at the schedule, and I think in 2 weeks you and him play. So
Oh, there we
I
go.
I kind of secretly hope you guys both lose this week, just so we can get that matchup there, find out who's gonna be the one in last place for sure. But no, actually, maybe yeah, no, I don't want you guys to both lose this week because going 0-4, that's rough, especially because
Yeah,
the by that point there won't be enough time to make it up for the bachelor party.
yeah, I know.
uh, Cool. All right, so this is a new slide that I was telling you about off screen, but I kind of wanted to add one more thing that I thought would be kind of funny. So, you know how in Sleeper they have that weekly report and they have like those random things on there?
Yeah.
I kind of like I looked at that like that's the feature on Sleeper that kind of drew me to that app the most. I don't like the ESPN
Mhm.
app. I think it's terrible. The Yahoo app is
Yeah.
like slightly better, but I also hate it. And I never used NFL or any of the other ones. So, but Sleeper, when I used it and I saw that weekly report, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty legit and like this is funny and like it actually is using good data. And I was like, how can I
Yeah.
kind of put my own spin on it? So I've created four of my own categories using some of the lingo, and I'm using combinations of the different things that just come out of the Sleeper report. So this is literally just me combining some stuff from Sleeper. So Fleek King is best team of the week plus most efficient manager plus biggest blowout. So basically anytime you get one of those, you get like a point in the Fleek King table. On that boo boo, worst team of the week or least efficient manager got hoed. So that's my like you just got kind of unlucky. So highest points and
Yeah.
loss or underachiever, which is like your players just didn't perform as well as they should have. And then
Right.
lucky motherfucker is lowest points in a win. Overachiever, which is like your players just did way better than they should have, and then narrow victory I kind of threw in there too.
Nice.
So these are the current standings as they are through the first 3 weeks, which is interesting because it's like Jesse's the Fleek King, but if you go back to the standings, like he's in sixth place in the standings.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yeah, and it's because that week two where Alvin Kamara went off for a crazy amount. So
Yeah.
he had the highest points in the whole league. He had the biggest blowout, and he was the most efficient. So he got all 3 points just
Uh,
in that week. And then I'm not sure where his other point came from. I may have actually messed this up. It might be 4 me and 3 him, but I'll double check that later. Um, on that boo boo, we got a 3-way tie between Shin, Joji, and Prame. So this is funny because Jesse and Shin were arguing on our other group chat. That Jesse was saying that Shin has just gotten lucky and he's playing like low opponents. So like if you look at the points allowed, his is like one of the lower ones. And then this week he just had a really bad week. So it's kind of funny. He's tied for on that boo boo, even though he's in the middle. And then got hoed. I was kind of hoping my brother would have been higher up on here. Just, but it's actually yeah. I wasn't expecting you and Wade are kind of at the top here, and then lucky motherfucker goes to Tyler and Joji. So Tyler I wasn't
yeah.
expecting, but he's the only other undefeated. But if you look at his points allowed and points scored, they're not super impressive. And
Yeah.
then I think he had a couple narrow victories in there as well.
Well, good. Hopefully
Yeah.
we can knock him out of that spot.
Yeah. And then I'm only going to keep the top four. So I don't want
Yeah.
the tables to be like 10 long each time. So there's some other people that have stuff in here, but it just didn't show because I don't want to make the tables too big.
Gotcha.
So that's it for the recap on the league, man. Anything
Way
else
to
you want to
go.
say to the group before we sign off? Any last words of shit talking or um you want to complain about how Joji barely beat you? This is your chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see everybody in November. And they can all crown me Fleet King when I walk through the door. So it's it'll be good.
uh, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man.
All right, see ya.
I'll talk to you later.